Hey, what's going on, party people? This your man Griff here. Just finished eating me some breakfast and getting ready to do some ripping and running around before my appointments. I got a 12 o'clock. Haven't got the docs for that yet, but I do have my documents for my 2 o'clock, and then I got a 5 o'clock. So I'm probably gonna just stick with doing three today. Yesterday I did three, and to be honest, that's why I'm hopping on. The three that I did yesterday was actually a little bit more stressful, actually a lot more stressful than when I was trying to do seven in one day on Monday. Um, the seven could have gotten done. It was a lot of ripping and running, but they canceled at the last minute. Yesterday, and I'm sharing this video so you can understand some of the scenarios that you can walk into. Okay, three different signings and three different scenarios of what I walked into. So the first scenario, 10 o'clock in the morning, it's been a reschedule. Been trying to reschedule it. I mean, multiple times it's been rescheduled. Got there to the gentleman's thing at 10 o'clock in the morning. Already had an idea what I might be walking into because of the neighborhood that it was in. I said, okay, I'll be prepared. Ain't no telling what I'm going to be dealing with. Get in there, and it's just a pure bachelor pad. When you go into these places and see, for men, we might be able to deal with this a little bit more, unless you're the type of guy who's a little bit on the more shishi foo foo side. You want everything nice and neat and real pristine. And not being funny, I'm just saying, you just got guys who are very meticulous and all of that. If you like a Dapper Don type of guy, then a Dapper Dan, actually, you probably wouldn't like the environment that I went into this morning or yesterday morning. If you're a guy that's more of a wilderness, you know, not worrying about having a $300 suit on, things of that nature, then it probably won't bother you as much. It most definitely would bother any woman who walked in there, I'll be honest with you. So I go into the place. As soon as I walk in, cigarette smoke all over the place. I mean, just bad. That's how bad it was. Dude playing a video game over here. All that noise. So you got all that noise going on. You walk into the back, and this is a townhouse. You walk into the back to the table, and there's no chairs. No place for you to sit. And my lower back sometimes bothers me, so being bent over for a long period of time is not ideal for me. I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, go in there, there's golf clubs, there's a drum set, so that means, okay, they're loud, this, that, and the other. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do here? How am I going to do this here? So I said, look, I need a seat. I said, you have a chair. Because I had already scoped the place out, and that's one of the things also with your systems check. When you walk into a place, you need to scope it out and see what the sitting arrangements are, because sometimes people under 30, sometimes people under 40 do not have furniture, okay? I don't know what it is, but this thing called I don't have furniture exists with people, young people 30 and below. Maybe even just say 35 and below. They don't have furniture or real good furniture in their house, and you sit on the couch and you sink into it like the sunken place and all that kind of stuff, and you ain't even got a teacup going. So no seat. The only thing he had was a drummer seat. I said, I'll take that. So I sit on that. That made everything better. One of the things I have, this here. Oops. This here is some essential oil. I don't know how it will work for the ladies, but for the men, what I do is I take this and I rub it on my mustache, and I can smell. Almost like having Epsom salt, smelling salt. I do that. And this particular brand is called Deep Blue from doTERRA. Now doTERRA is expensive, but if you know somebody who sells doTERRA, ask them for a sample. This stuff lasts a while. I'm serious. This here will last you a good little bit of while. All right. The Deep Blue has a nice smell to it. Some people will use eucalyptus and all of that. The only problem with Vicks, which has eucalyptus in it, is that it can open up your nasal passages a little too much, and then you wind up smelling everything. Or you could, sometimes what I have done is And again, you don't know if you're going into it or not. You can actually maybe kick a little Febreze on your mask, maybe a touch on the inside or the outside. So then you got that smell. Or maybe you can carry a little pocket Febreze and all of that. Now, the thing is trying to put this here on, and you don't, I mean, if you do it before you go in, that's cool, but you don't know sometimes, and you get in there and you're like, oh man, this is bad. What I normally do is, hey, can I use the restroom real quick? Go in there, throw that in. Or if they go upstairs or they go to get their driver's license, because most of the time they forget, then I'll drop this on the mustache and I'm good to go. I wouldn't advise putting that directly on your skin, especially lemon. I did that, lemon burns, okay? But his situation, uncomfortable, got the signing done in like 25 minutes. I mean, he was just like, gone. But the environment was just like, man. So I'm like, okay, I'm walking out of that smelling like a big old stack of cigarettes, some Pall Malls or something like that. Go home, then my 6 o'clock. All of a sudden, things started falling apart. I was already told ahead of time that, hey, instead of it being a one signing, it's actually 2 properties. Okay, good, double the money, no big deal. All of a sudden, I get a phone call. Hey, the signer said you never contacted them. What's up with that? This is the signing company. I'm like, I did. I got the text message showing me and her been communicating. I called, she didn't answer the phone, so I sent a text message. What do you mean? Well, they're saying you didn't call them. All right. I called a customer. Come to find out that the signing company changed the time to 3 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock. Never told me. All they did was told them, sent them an email saying, hey, the notary's coming at 3 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock. No one told me. But the signing company was sort of on me like, hey, you not doing your job there, buddy. And I'm like, no, I did do my job. What are you talking about? Now, let me say this. Nobody said anything to me from the signing company about the time being changed. They just said, you didn't do your job. You didn't contact them. What's up with you? I'm saying I did. So I go and I called a couple. They said, this is what the deal is. I called the signing company back, and I think you should do this. I called the signing company back with a good attitude. Hey, I called the customer. They said somebody emailed them that the signing was changed to 3 o'clock. No one told me. Now, I do know a set of documents came out for one of the properties that they didn't give me a couple of days before. So I'm like, maybe that's what happened. She's like, oh yeah, I just changed it in here. Yeah, it was, somebody changed it to 3 o'clock and they forgot to tell you. Okay. But they looked at it as, you're not doing your job. So I get there. Oh, and they tell me at the last second, oh yeah, by the way, did you get the notification that there was a new set of documents up there from the first set that you was given? No, I did not. Oh, we thought we said, oh, we didn't? No, I haven't gotten any notification. So it was 2 properties. The second property came first. First property came, printed those documents off. Then they saying, oh, there's a revision. So I had to go back, and yes, they gave me a print fee for that. I didn't go in and see how much it was, but they gave me a print fee. I get to the couple's house at 6. A little bit after, because there was an accident. I had already contacted them, told them I'd be a little bit late, but I got there about 6:03. I get there, I come into the house, I can hear the kids. You can hear the kids through the door. Hearing kids through the door is sometimes not a good sign. Okay, fine. Go inside. The little boy, he's like, hey, how you doing? What's up, man? How you doing, that little man? You doing all right? Yeah. All right, cool. The daughter, the little girl, she looking at me. We looking at each other. Next thing I know, she starts crying to the top of her lungs. I'm like, oh, man. I see how this gonna go. Long story short, I had the third appointment was at 7:45. I didn't leave there till 7:40 because this is a situation you can come into from time to time. The mom is trying to deal with the kids. Also, it's at dinner time for them, which I don't like coming to people's house during dinner time, but that's the time they made it. So you got to deal with it. The husband, slow moving, no rush, no hurry in him at all. So if the one property was under his name, he signs quick, real quick, bam. But he looking over the documents, each and every one, over and over again. And he was actually expecting me to try to give him a breakdown of what he was signing, like explain the documents in detail so he wouldn't have to read, which I didn't do. And I can tell he didn't like that. And I was like, okay. So he taking his time. The way I wanted to do the signing, since it was two, there was a set of documents that was just for him to sign. There was a set of documents for her and him. I wanted to have both of them at the table, have her go ahead on the sign, start signing her spot on the documents for the two of them, and then me and him work on the documents just for him. And he signed, I notarize, signed, I notarize. Get all of that done. By the time we get that done, she will be done signing her part. I'm watching her, and then transfer the documents over to him, and then he signed all of his, and then I notarized. He didn't want to do that. No, I'm gonna do it. And the reason why, because they got to sit here and micromanage this little girl, or actually she was micromanaging them. Then she comes to do the signing. The little kid would not leave her side. The kid was all on top of the mom, all on top of the mom, all on top of the mom. Here's what things got uncomfortable. The dad, with his phone, looking at ESPN, everything else, not even trying to help her. What does that do? That just stresses her out, because I can tell in her eye, and I've been married for a while, and any married man knows a man who's married with kids. Okay, maybe different for guys who aren't married, but when you married and you got kids and your wife is, and she like, you need to get this child while I'm trying to sign papers, and you're sitting here watching me struggle with the daughter crawling all on me while I'm trying to sign papers. And now, as a notary, you got to be on the point. You got to be paying attention, because here's what's going to happen. That child, all of a sudden, wants to start grabbing papers, wants to start grabbing the pen, think it's playtime, want to start all on your documents. They not paying attention. They not thinking that. You, as the notary, got to think that way. Anytime you're in a situation where there's a kid, you got to know where them kids at. Because all of a sudden, the kid will be crawling on the wall up in the room, and then boom, just drop down on top of you like, hey, and want to start playing with your stamp. You got to know where kids are at all times. I'm always cognizant where the kid is at. Okay, I don't hear the kid no more. Oh, there you are. Oh. Nah, you don't be there. But you find kids, they all over the place. I'm serious. Next thing you know, the kid popping up, hey, and then going. I'm telling you, kids are slick that way. So she's struggling, and then all of a sudden, there was this one document that they was looking at. And next thing I know, the little girl took the pen out of the mom's hand and was getting ready to write on the daggone paper. Now, I had already tried the distraction method of giving the daughter a piece of paper that she could play with. She didn't want that. Kid smart. No, that's a throwaway piece of paper that Griff giving me. I want the legal document that is going to get him in trouble if there's stray marks on it. That's what I want. And she went after that document. Mom is doing this. She snatched that pen out the mom's hand. Really not snatched. She just sort of eased it out and started going down to the document. I had to reach over, slid the document out the way. The little girl looked at me like, oh, you caught me, huh? I said, yeah, I caught you. Now, all of this is going on with the eyes. And then she starts writing on the clipboard. trying to mark the clipboard up. Now I got ink on the clipboard. I got aluminum clipboard, so the ink doesn't dry right away. I said, "Oh, you trying to get the ink on the back of the paper, aren't you?" She like, "Uh-huh." I said, "Okay, I got you." So I cleaned that up. Now what you gonna do? That's what you got to deal with. The older son, he chilled out after a while, but that little girl, she was all over the place, screaming, crying, had to be changed, had to have her hands washed after being changed. Why she had to have her hands washed after being changed? Because she went and grabbed a diaper and brought it to her mama with poop all in it. These are the situations you deal with. So what does that do? That makes me late. I mean, way late for my 7:45. I'm rolling out at 7:40. I got a 30, no, almost 30-minute drive. It's almost a 30-minute drive to my next appointment. There was no, oh, I'll be there in 15 minutes. I get in the car. I call the signing company. I'm like, hey, I need y'all to close the order out because I don't have time to go in there and do all of the FedEx, dot, dot, dot. Y'all need to close this out because I just leaving and I got a 7:45 and it's 7:47 right now. Oh, we're so okay, we'll close it out for you. Boom. I'm heading over to the next one. And now I'm also tell you about these signing companies. It's not, there's just some, it all depends on how they run. So I'm going over to the other one. I text the guy. He doesn't respond to text. I call him. Hey, I'm just calling to let you know I just finished this one. I'm on my way and all of that. And I can tell in his voice like, okay. I said, sorry, this is going to be late. But he said, what time you going to be here? I said, it's going to take me about 20 minutes. It's actually going to be 23, 24. I shaved off a few. It's going to be about 20 minutes. Okay. So now I already know in my mind when I get there, I got to be on point. As soon as I roll in, I hadn't had time to prep jack. As soon as I rolled in there, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. All right, get the IDs, to the doon, click, 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 pictures, all of that. And then I'm going through the docs. Now, I get them done probably in under 45 minutes. Only reason why it took that long because there was a little slow on signing and it was a lot of pack. It was a lot. It was like over 100. It was like maybe 180 pages. It was a lot and everything. So I get them done. However, let's back it up. While I'm at the 6 o'clock appointment, I'm getting a phone call from the title company for the next appointment. Only reason why I answered the phone was because this appointment the appointment I was going to at 7:45 had already been canceled 3 times, maybe at least 3 times before from last week. The first week of December, going into where we're at now, recording this video, the second week, which is today is Wednesday, December 9th. And that was one of the ones that got canceled on Monday at the last minute. An hour before, they canceled it. I'm like, gosh, okay, let me answer these people. Because if I don't answer, then they're calling. So I answer the phone. Yeah, this is such and such. We see you on schedule to do a sign-in at 7:45. And just wanted to ask you that when you get there, to let us know, we're going to send you a text message. And we want you to respond to the text message. I was like, nah, I ain't got time. No. Okay, look, I done did almost 100 for y'all. I'm going to get the thing done. Okay, I got to go. Bye. 7:45, I'm on the road. At 8:09, I get a call from the same company. Yeah, we know we see you scheduled for this closing at 7:45 and just was calling to see, mind you, 8:09, 7:45, 8:09, 7:45, 8:09, I'm getting a call. Yeah, we just want to see if this has closed already. I said, ma'am, I'm 5 minutes out from them. The other one went long. I've already called the customer. They know I'm coming. It'll be done. Okay? All right? Okay? I was just checking. It's going to be done. Okay? It will be done. Don't worry about it. I got this. It'll get done. Okay, I'll let the scheduling team know. All right, thank you. You do that. Thank you. Bye. 8:09. They wanted me to have that thing done in what? 20 minutes? I'm like, really? You got to stay focused. You got to stay focused doing this here. I'm telling you, people, you got to stay focused. If you can't stay focused doing it, and see, here's the thing, and I'm gonna throw this in here because I'm gonna do a video about this direct versus signing companies. Um, these scenarios that I'm talking about are not exclusive to signing companies. It's a part of the industry. It's a part of the business. So unless you're doing direct in somebody's office, you could still deal with this kind of stuff. You could still deal with late documents, time changes, not being told it's time change. So being direct does not exonerate or immunize you from these scenarios. It doesn't. People think if I go direct, then I don't have to deal with the stuff that Griff talking about. People are people. If you go direct and they say, hey, I contact you direct. I want you to go out to Earl James' house. You go out to Earl James' house, and Earl James is still sitting in there in the pool when you get out there, and he wants to take a shower, clean up, and all of that, knowing that he's supposed to get with you at 6 o'clock, but he's still out there in the pool sunbathing or whatever he's doing. That has nothing to do with direct or indirect. The question is whether you as a notary can deal with the scenario and handle it, because all of these companies still want you to get the job done. And don't think that they're going to be like, oh, we're your direct client, and we understand that Earl James was in the pool, and he come walking by you in a daggone thong bikini, and all this, that, and the other, and you probably felt offended by that, ma'am. But did you get the documents done right? And there wasn't no water on it. We don't like pool chlorine water on there. This is the reality of it, people. You got to be able to deal with it. And I was able to get that couples done. The last one, I know they was tired. And it was an older couple. And I got it done in under 45 minutes. I was rolling through them docs. Got it all done. That's why I say you got to have a system. Your system will enable you to deal with all of this stuff. You got to stay cognizant of kids with the pen that they done stole or the pen that they got. They be like, hey, I got my own pen to write on your documents. I'm telling you, it is just in some of these kids' natures that, oh, mommy and daddy are doing ... I need to be involved in it because I don't like this stranger taking my parents' attention from me. So therefore, I'm going to get in here and I'm going to demand I have all the attention. And you as a notary got to be able to say, okay, you about to ball up my documents. Not today. And I looked at her and she looked at me like, what you gonna do? Like Bernie Mac say, him. Look at him. Him stopping me from doing this. I was like, nah, baby girl. I gotta protect those docs. No, we not having that. And me and her was having a serious conversation with our eyeballs. It was like, And she looking at me, I'm like, I'm Griff. All right. I don't play that. Okay. I grew up with kids stand in the corner until the parents tell them to come out while we signing important documents. You don't want to stand in the corner, fine. Go play with the $5,632 worth of toys I done bought you last week. Okay. That's my mindset. And I'll be honest, it's hard when it comes to that sometimes. Not that, and I've never done this, but because in my mind, it's like, I didn't raise my sons that way. I wasn't raised that way to be all over the place. And you have people who have this kid got to be free, kid got to do whatever they want. And they got grappling hooks climbing on the ceiling, digging tunnels under the kitchen floor, popping up like gophers. Nah, Griff ain't down for that. But this your family. I'm getting paid a grip to do this. I'm spending, in this case, darn near 2 hours of my life with you. I'm going to knock it out. I'm going to knock this thing out. Hour and 40 minutes, I'm with you. Make my money. Boom. I won't be seeing you anymore. I'm good. But I protected those documents. And if you can't protect the documents, you ain't paying attention. I'm telling y'all, you got to have situational awareness. If you don't have situational awareness, when you walk into these homes, it will tear you up. And you'll be like, what in the world I done got myself into? So, at the end of the day, I made 360 bucks, got the documents done. Everybody's happy. I'm getting ready to go drop them off now. And that's what it is, people. So, not saying all of this to scare you off. I'm just helping you to understand that after everybody's bragging about this here is a perfect time for loan signing agents and we are understaffed and all this, that, and the other. I don't care whether we understaffed, overstaffed, whether you can handle situations like that. Funky, stinky houses, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I've been in, like I told y'all, I went in the house and it was just roaches. Roach came up on the daggone clipboard like, yo, what y'all doing here? Do I need to sign anything? Nah, dog, you ain't gonna sign nothing. All right, man, if you need me, let me know. And went on about his business. I mean, you're dealing with those kind of things. And that has nothing to do with whether you're direct or signing company. That's just people. And in doing this business, if you can't deal with people, if you can't focus on that part of it to say, let me get this thing done. If you just worried about the dollars, I'm gonna tell you, you ain't gonna last long. And because of that, that's why there's a shortage. Because when people, after they go through all of these training programs, they get out there and they see the real world of notary. And they're like, shoot, I got my red bottoms on. Mm-mm. I just came from that house and I opened up my daggone Gucci purse and a roach was in it. You get what I'm saying? That kind of stuff can happen. Again, not saying that you shouldn't do it, but you need to be aware of what you could possibly go into. That's all I'm trying to do on this channel is I guess, as I was saying back in my day, hip you to what the real deal is. Yes, you can make money doing this. Yes, it's a perfect time to be a signing agent. Yes, there's a shortage and there's all kinds of this, that, and the other. But can you weather the storm? Can you deal with the stuff that you have to deal with? Because remember, it's you and them one-on-one at that table getting them docs done. And if you can't handle all of the stuff that's going around, going into people's house, this, that, and the other, having to park down the street and walk up in your red bottoms, which I don't think you should be wearing red bottoms anyway, doing this kind of stuff, but you got to walk up in your $200 shoes in the rain because there's no place, because where they live at, there's no parking on the street. They don't have any space, and their driveway is full of 16 cars. And the only spot for you to park is about whoever knows how long, 100, 200 yards down the road there. And now you got to walk up to them, and it's raining. And it's muddy, and it's a gravel road. See, that's the kind of stuff I've been through, dealt with. So, a lot of people on YouTube talking about, they've been in here doing it for 6 months and 3 months, and I can tell you the real deal. They can't tell you the real nothing. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to them, but I'm telling you, after 2.5 years of this, I can barely tell you the real deal. I'm telling you what I've dealt with. There's even more that you have to deal with, that people who've been doing this game for 5 years, 10 years, 15, that could tell you, that could blow away anything that I'm saying. So kudos to those who just starting and they're saying, hey, I'm letting you know that there's a whole lot more. A whole lot more. All right. So thanks, everybody. Didn't mean for it to be this long, but y'all know how I do. Peace.